Hello. Okay, we will see whether or not this stream's live. I did a live stream a few hours earlier, and Facebook has decided it doesn't want to let me go live these days, so we are finding ways around it. So just in case, we will save this video and get it uploaded in various places. I am here to talk about something really quite fascinating that has been transpiring across numerous different platforms, across numerous different channels, I shall say. A specific opinion, an opinion of duality, polarity. I'm getting my guides are just shifting that word slightly, about whether or not a certain being is of the light or not of the light. You may or may not know what I'm talking about. It's a little bit vague right now, so we will get way more into it in just a moment. But first, let's actually have a little look at what light and shadow is. Okay, we talk about this a lot. If you are in my Facebook group, if you watch my videos, you will hear me talk about this a lot. There is everything that is outside of us is within us. The whole universe is created for us, individually for us. So whatever your point of attraction is, that's what you'll magnetize in your world. That's the law of attraction, right? Whatever my point of attraction is, I will attract that in my world. That's my point of attraction. And the world is getting created for us, by us. No one else, by us. This is the whole as within, so without, right? That's how that works. As within, so without. What's really interesting, I'm just moving my light around a little bit. I'm doing this when I'm recording this when it's like bedtime, and I was just about to go to bed, and I'm like, no, I have to talk about this tonight. But we create everything. We're powerful co-creators. That's why we are here. We're here to play on this planet and to realize our potential and to find ourselves in a physical body and, see how we like it, right? We bring a lot of karma in. That's the law of cause and effect, right? Whenever you're less frequencing, whenever you're vibrating at less than a fifth dimensional state, there is the law of cause and effect, okay? And many other laws as well, many other universal laws. Now, you've heard me talk about shadow work before. You've heard me talk about deep shadow healing. You've heard me talk about how we really illuminate those wounds, what they are, those judgments, what they are. Whenever there is an opinion that is formed and when we are using a word like they or that or this is such a thing, whatever we're saying is a direct reflection of a point of energy within ourselves. Okay. And I'm going to say right now, for anyone watching this is a very direct message, I'm aware of that. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. Okay? And if you're not sure whether it resonates or not, bring it to your heart space. Fill yourself with the most beautiful white golden light, rainbow light. Fill yourself with it. Call in your guides, call in your angels, and bring whatever it is from whomever you're hearing it from. Whether they've got 1 million followers, 100,000 followers, 100 followers, doesn't matter. Just you, bring it to your heart space and ask your heart whether it feels like love or it doesn't, because that will give you a sure answer as to whether it's truth or not, because there is only love in this world. And there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the world that we want to blame and point fingers at, and we don't want to take accountability for how we've created that, but we have created it, right? We've got millennia of a desecration for the divine feminine energy, right? Millennia of that. And we've been slaves, we've been raped, we've been pillaged, we've been abused, we've been chained up and silenced and burned and hanged. We've been all of that. Not only have we been the victim of that, we have been the perpetrator of that. In different lifetimes, that's how it works. and to truly heal a lot of the dynamics we have, the empath-narcissist dynamic, the the victim-victor, the all these different dynamics that are out there, slave, right? These are really big, heavy words, and they're some of the main woundings that we have in society, and they're very prevalent right now. You see it a lot out and about. Many people do. Many people are talking about it, right? Depending on which country you're in will depend on what the main kind of energy is, the main shadow energy that's coming up. And that's what's happening. It's coming up because it's ready to be illuminated. The shadow is a part of ourselves, within ourselves. When something makes us uncomfortable, good, because we have to look at it, right? And the shadow is a part of ourselves that doesn't align with our higher self. Within this physical body is a beautiful vehicle. It's a divine vehicle for us to be here on this planet, right? And our higher selves, our soul, the thing that's really high in energy, that's connected to Source, that is a part of Source, is driving this vehicle. Yeah, this vehicle has got a sat-nav that teaches it to go left when it really wants to go right, So we've got contradicting energies. That's what the shadow is. It's when your fear or a belief that things aren't working out for you, it's when that is wanting to overtake the knowing that your soul has that everything is always working out for you, because you are creating that, right? But we've given away our power year after year, day after day, millennia after millennia, for thousands of years, right? And we devolved in the process. Now, at the third dimensional level, we're going to talk about this just for a moment. At the third dimensional level, we kind of really plugged into the matrix. We were just doing our 9 to 5 or probably 8 till 6, kind of oblivious to everything else that is out there, waiting for someone to tell us what to do, waiting for the government to say what we can do, and someone else to tell us what we can eat and who we should marry and how many kids we should have, and all those societal judgments, right? That most of you that are watching this will have unlearned quite a few of those, right? You will have embraced those shadows already, because that's what we intend to do. That's what we need to do, is embrace the shadows, love them. If someone is angry, right, you don't fight fire with fire, right? If you were angry at someone and someone was angry back, do you think that's going to diffuse the situation? No. Compassion, understanding, love, that's what diffuses those situations, right? It's the same for within you. The shadows need diffusing by adding love to it, because they just want to be accepted. The shadows, the ego wants to be accepted, right? But it's so subtle as well. It can come upon you like that, and the ego, the shadows, the polarity of it all, once you are anchored in the fifth dimension, you see through all the veils of illusion that may creep upon you, such as whether a being such as the moon is of the light or is it of the shadow? Well, my question to you is, what frequency are you at? Do you believe that there is someone out there to get you, out to get you? Do you feel that you need someone to blame? You need someone to say they're responsible for my energy, they're responsible for this, that and the other? Because, the fourth dimension is a really vast dimension. We talk about going third to fifth, but we forget about the fourth, and that's where most people get stuck. It's where the spiritual trap is, it's where the ego trap is, it's where the light worker trap is, the empath trap. All the traps are laid in the fourth dimension. And we can do a lot of healing work, a lot of spiritual work, right? We can start to open our crown chakras, open our third eyes, start to be woke, right, as the phrase is, and then realize that actually we're not as woke as we think. Or maybe we are, maybe we want to use that word, but we're not really awake, right? And what I mean by that is, it's a continuous journey. We are never above anyone else, right? The more healing you do, the more humble you become, because you realize that every interaction you have, every being of light that you are with, every human being that you come across, regardless of the experience, is a divine being, a creation of Source, of which you are, right? So you recognize that other person as another brother, sister to you, regardless of how they are acting, regardless of whether they are choosing to act from fear and from their ego and from their shadow, or whether they are anchored so deeply into their love that they will only show you compassion and radiate light, right? Now, there's been a lot of light workers with quite large followings denouncing the moon. Have we ever heard this before, you guys? If we go back through our history, have we ever heard that a group or a category or a being or something is evil and we should persecute it? Just something to think about. Because history does repeat itself, it just shifts the focus. The energy is still the same until we heal it. And the more light that is pouring in right now, the more the shadow is going, oh, this feels uncomfortable, I don't know what to do. I know, let me push back. That's what the shadow's doing, until it's just so surrounded by love that it breaks down into tears and it releases it and it heals. That's what's happening here. The divine feminine has been desecrated for so long that we don't even see when it's happening again. Right? We don't even see when it's happening again. Nothing is external to you. Nothing is external to me, right? When I receive people asking me about this and I see posts on my social media for the limited time that I'm on there talking about this, I even go to myself, I go, okay, where within me am I not healed for me to have attracted that post, for me to have seen that post? There's something in my energy field here that actually needs healing, and I look within and I go, okay, what can I embrace in love today? What shadow have I not noticed yet? That's how I deal with that. Because I know that there is no such thing as good and bad, right? Not in the sense that we want to make it out to be, because it's all within ourselves. You know? So the light is within us, but so is the shadow. And guess what? Guess what is also known as the dark? The feminine. Guess what the womb of creation is? A big void. Darkness, blackness. These are just some things to think about, you guys, and you know, take it into your heart space, feel into it, whenever you see any post by anyone, regardless of who they are, this is about discernment, and this is about a further deeper layer coming off this here, right? And if you don't see it, that's okay. And if you don't agree with this message, that's also okay, right? But I've been asked my opinion by a few different people on this, and this is that opinion. This is that viewpoint from a spiritual perspective, from my spiritual perspective, my understanding, and how I conduct myself in this body, on this planet, and how I coach and help people remember is by sharing my personal experience with dealing with my shadows, right? Has anyone ever been in a narcissistic situation? I'm sure you probably have, narcissist empath. To heal that was a process, right? Because otherwise they keep coming back here. But do you notice that there was always someone to blame, right? Because yeah, you had a hell of a time. But what I'm saying here is that these energies are intensifying across the globe, right? And we want someone to blame because we don't want to face that. It's hard to face that. Holy, is it hard, right? But I tell you what, you know, you didn't come here for an easy ride. You came here at this point in time throughout the biggest ascension process, the most expedited, compact roller coaster ride of your lives, because of your soul's lives, right? I mean, you've done this numerous times before on other planets. But what we forget and what we can maybe choose to ignore is that we chose to come here for a reason. We don't get to pick and choose. We can't be almighty and creative 1 second and you know, fully align with that, and then the next second go, but actually I'm going to blame this, this, and this for this, this, and this. It doesn't work like that, right? So notice the reasons. Notice the feeling that this is bringing up for you. If you're seeing those posts, notice the feeling that it's bringing up for you. Okay, why does it resonate? Does it resonate because it's truth in love? Because it's connected to source, that source's truth? Right? Or is it resonating with you because it's resonating with a shadow and a wound that wants to be validated as well because it doesn't want the spotlight on it? It's just something to think about, right? You know, I'm not really intending to start a debate on this, but it's just something to really think about, and I hope that anyone who watches this message receives what they need to from it to spark either a catalyst, a healing, or at least an introspection, right? So that they can go deeper within themselves, connect deeper with Source, with all that is, and connect deeper with their light that they are, that you are shining so brightly, like the moon shining tonight, full moon, super full moon. And yet she still shines, she still reflects that sun's light, you know, just like the sun continues to shine even if the clouds are in front of the sun. Do we then say the clouds are evil? Is that the next step? Because, you know, water could be considered feminine as well. And that could be the next step, right? When it starts to spiral, there's no stopping that spiral. So watch where your energy is focused, because that's how the law of attraction works. Whatever you focus on will manifest more of. And that runs off the emotion. It doesn't run off words, it runs off emotion. So if you have a shadow within that needs to have a little love and healing, love it, heal it, see it, feel it, acknowledge it, welcome it, embrace it, and for goodness sake, don't reject it. Not if you want a smooth ride in this life, you want to do the opposite to reject it, I'm just saying. It's kind of like, get it out of the way now so that you can live more of your bliss, because you are here to have fun on this planet, to have relationships and beautiful, blissful, abundant, joyous occasions, time after time after time. Like, it's so consistently elevating in consciousness. That's what it's all about. There's so much magic here in this world, and we've not even scratched the surface yet. And it's so funny because one of the most magical things out there is now facing an attack. Right? It just makes you think, doesn't it? So I'm sending you all so much love, so many blessings. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if you're triggered by this, I'm really happy. I am, because it means that you're going to look at that trigger at some point, whether you consciously realize it or not, right? And if this made you uncomfortable as well, good, because once again, you're going to look at something within, whether you realize it or not. Your soul will be going, yes, we've brought that energy out a little bit, we can help heal it now. When they're dreaming, we can be working with that energy and just shift it and heal it, and all's going to be well. But I know one thing, and that is you are a powerful co-creator. You are Source, and Source doesn't make mistakes like that. They don't make things out to get you. Source is love, unconditional love, beautiful, expansive, bright, blissful, joyous, ineffable joy. Right? And you're a part of that. Don't ever forget it. I love you all so much. Blessings to you. Bye for now.